you wait for them? Or get the fuck out of here?
Let's get the fuck out of here.
The screams of death.
What's up, you guys? So today in this video, I'm going to be showing how to set up the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Elite headset with the PlayStation 5 Pro using a MacBook Pro M3 Max. So in this video, I'll be using the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Elite headset along with the game hub it comes with it. So I'll be using the Elgato 4KX along with the Elgato Chat Link Pro cable, and I'll be connecting that to the PlayStation 5 Pro and be connecting the Elgato 4KX game capture card to my MacBook Pro M3 Max through OBS Studio. I can use everything wirelessly. I just have to use the game hub that the headset comes with, because this connects to the headset wirelessly. I don't have to connect the Chat Link Pro to the controller nor to the headset, so I can have more of a wireless experience. So for the game hub, on the back, it has the line out, line in, and 3 USB-C ports. So on the Chat Link Pro, this male connector, the one that shares a Y splitter with the female connector, you're going to connect that to the line outs. On the game hub for the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro, you're going to use USB 1 to connect it to the PlayStation 5. So the other end of the Chat Link Pro, you're going to connect it to the aux port here on the Elgato 4KX game capture card. And you're going to connect HDMI cable that comes from the PlayStation 5 Pro in here. This is going to be connected to your TV, and then that one is going to be connected to the MacBook Pro M3 Max. And for this setup, nothing is connected to the female connector if you want a truly wireless experience, because you could actually connect the aux cable to the headset, practically how to connect everything together. So I'll be showing how to configure the Elgato 4KX game capture card on my MacBook Pro M3 Max. I'll also be showing how to update the firmware on this one. You can either download the SteelSeries app on your iPhone or Android, or you need PC or running a virtual machine like I have on my MacBook Pro M3 Max. I'm running Windows 11 Pro Canary, so I'm able to download the SteelSeries GG software where I could actually configure and update the firmware on the headset and the game hub. So with this setup, I could be using the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Elite headset wirelessly without connecting any cables, and then using the PlayStation 5 DualSense Edge controller wirelessly. I don't have to connect any cables to the aux port here. I don't have to deal with any constraint from cables when I move or anything. If I actually wanted to make it a wired connection, then on the Chat Link Pro, I just connect the aux cable here to the headset, and then I can have a wired connection. But this video is mostly for wireless connection. So right now I'm going to go to settings. Then from settings, we're going to go to system. Then we're going to go to HDMI. And then you're going to go to where it says enable HDCP. By default, this is going to be toggled on. You want to toggle it off, because if you leave it on, you cannot capture any gameplay using any game capture card. So you need to turn this off. You just select this to turn it off, and then you're able to use, for this instance, the Elgato 4KX. So in order to configure the Elgato 4KX, you need to go to the Elgato website, go to the download section. So for the Mac side, you go to capture utility and you go hit download. On the Windows side, you go to 4K capture utility and you hit download. Once you downloaded it, then you open capture utility to set up the Elgato 4KX. So once you downloaded the Elgato capture device, then you plug in the Elgato 4KX to your MacBook Pro. Once it's been connected, I'll detect it, and the first thing you should do is just to check if the firmware is up to date. Mine, as you can see, is up to date. So the Elgato 4KX has the HDMI audio selected by default. It'll be like this when you get it. So we're gonna switch it to analog audio because we're gonna be using the Elgato Chat Link Pro, and that gets the analog audio input from the Game Hub. And then you can mess around with these settings. This last setting that says USB 10 gigabits per second, when you plug it in, it's not enabled because by default the Elgato 4KX, especially for the Mac version here on the Elgato capture device, is set as a 5 gigabit per second device. So if you want to get the maximum performance and resolution coming out of the Elgato 4KX, then you want to enable the 10 gigabits per second option. I disabled the 10 gigabits per second option so I can show you guys. When you plug in your Elgato 4KX, you're going to hit the option key on the keyboard. Then you see here you get the 10 gigabits per second option, and it says requires macOS 14.4 or later. And I'm still holding on the option key. If I let go, it disappears. So to get it back, then you just hold it and then you toggle it on. Once you toggle it on, you get this pop-up window saying turn on USB 10 gigabits per second mode. Once enabled, your Elgato 4KX will no longer work with macOS versions earlier than 14.4. For me, I have a MacBook Pro M3 Max running macOS Tahoe 26.5 developer beta. So we're gonna turn it on. And then now you have the option for the 10 gigabits per second. So the reason why you want to enable this, because if you don't enable it by default using the Elgato 4KX on a Mac, you're running it as a 5 gigabit per second device, which means the maximum output that you could capture is at a resolution of 4K 30 frames per second. If you want to capture at a higher frame rate, then you need to enable the 10 gigabit per second option. Once you have all this enabled, then your Elgato 4KX is ready. So in order to capture the video feed and audio feed from the Elgato 4KX, you will need to go to obsproject.com. That's the official OBS Studio website. And then you could choose the Windows version, the Mac OS version, or the Linux version. For this situation, because I'm using the MacBook Pro M3 Max, we're gonna choose the Mac OS. So you click on Mac OS, and then from that option, they have the Intel versions. That's the older MacBooks that have the Intel i7 chips. And then you have the macOS Apple Silicon, which is the M1, M2, M3, M4, M5 chips. So for my MacBook Pro M3 Max, I'll be choosing this one. So you click on here, and then you can download it. Once OBS Studio finished downloading, then you open the application and start the initial setup, where you have to choose a streaming platform so you can sign in. For my case, I chose Twitch. Setup, and then set up the scenes and sources. Okay, we're gonna connect the Elgato 4KX to OBS Studio on my MacBook Pro M3 Max. So once you download OBS Studio on your Mac, then you open it, you create a scene by clicking here, typing in a scene name, and hitting OK. Then in sources, we're gonna go to the bottom here for the plus sign, add source. We're gonna click on it. Then we're gonna go to video capture device. You're gonna click on that one. Then we're gonna name the device. I'm gonna name it 4KX. Hit OK. And then we go to device here. We're gonna go to the Elgato 4KX. Then because we want more control, so we're not gonna use the presets. So we're gonna switch it to 4K. And then you switch it to 60 frames per second. Then you hit OK. We're gonna move it out of the way, make it a little bit smaller. So I have my Elgato 4KX connected currently to my PS5 Pro, so I can move it So for the Mac, you have to do an extra step because just creating the video capture device only captures the video being captured by the Elgato 4KX, not the audio. For the audio, you need to go back to add source. You go to audio input capture. We're gonna name it 4KX audio for this example, and you hit OK. Then on device, you click here. Then you select the Elgato 4KX. That's how you need it. But here you go on audio mixer. You right click on the one we just created, the 4KX audio. You right click it, go to advanced audio properties. And then that's the first one here. We go all the way to where it says audio monitoring. Then we're gonna select the option that says monitor and output. Then you hit close. So now the Elgato 4KX is all set up in OBS Studio to capture 4K resolution footage with audio. So if you have access to a PC or you're running a virtual machine like I am on my MacBook Pro M3 Max, I have Parallels desktop virtual machine and I'm running Windows 11 Pro. So in order to update the firmware on the Arctis Nova Elite, you can either go on their website here and download the SteelSeries GG app, or they have also a mobile app that you can download on your phone and you can configure it that way. The GG app is only compatible with Windows, not compatible with Mac. If you do have a virtual machine, then download it. If not, then download the app. So once you open the app on Windows, then you'll have to connect the Game Hub and the headset to your MacBook in order to detect both devices and be able to update the firmware. As you can see, I have already both the Arctis Nova Elite and the Arctis Nova Pro wireless already installed. So this app is just to better customize the sound profile and the mic settings for the Arctis Nova Elite headset, and also to download the latest firmware on the headset and the Game Hub. So I plugged in the Game Hub for the Arctis Nova Elite. I have not connected the headset yet. I just wanted to show you guys the different customizations you could do on the SteelSeries GG app. So we're gonna click on it because it enables sonar, because if you make an account with the SteelSeries GG app, you're able to use this other program to further customize audio profile. But you can customize the mic here. This is setting for the Game Hub. I believe if there's a update that needs to be installed, I think you can download it from here. So if you go to the sonar section, then that's where you can actually customize further. So I'm just using a preset at the moment. Haven't really tweaked around with this. But yeah, that's pretty much the SteelSeries GG app. For the Arctis Nova Elite, you can either use this or you can use the mobile app. Connect your headset to Bluetooth and then the app will detect it, and you can actually do all these options on the app, so you don't need to be running this on a PC or on a virtual machine running Windows 11. So on the PlayStation 5, on the controller, we're gonna hit the PlayStation button, and then we're gonna go to where it says sound. We're gonna select it, and then you see here it says output device, USB headset, Arctis Nova Elite, and that's what we want. And you can adjust the settings here. And then for the mic, we go back to where it says mic, select it, and the mic says USB headset, Arctis Nova Elite. And then you can adjust the mic from there. So this is my setup for recording gameplay on the PlayStation 5 using the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Elite headset with the Game Hub here. As you can see, we have the PlayStation 5 Pro on the TV screen and showing on the MacBook Pro M3 Max on OBS Studios. So on my MacBook Pro M3 Max, I'll have the power cable. This Thunderbolt 5 USB-C cable is the one that connects to the Elgato 4KX game capture card. So this Thunderbolt 5 USB-C cable connects to the external SSD that I have connected here, so I can record gameplay. And then I have the DJI Mic 2, the receiver connected to the MacBook Pro M3 Max, and it'll be connected, you can see it here. So this is the Elgato 4KX. This one is connected to the Chat Link Pro. This one, HDMI in from the PlayStation 5 Pro. This middle cable is a USB-C Thunderbolt 5 cable that goes to the MacBook Pro M3 Max. This HDMI out cable goes to the TV. So the Chat Link Pro is connected to the back of SteelSeries Arctis Nova Elite Game Hub and is connected on the line out. And then the USB-C 1 is connected to my PlayStation 5 Pro. But as you can see, there is no wires on the headset, and you can hear the sound of the game. There is no wires coming from the controller. And like I said, this one here, I'm not using anything for it unless I wanted a wired connection. So this is the setup to start recording gameplay. Then for streaming, I have to disconnect the external SSD that I have here so I can connect the Insta360 Link to webcam. I've tested out some with some gameplay.
Preload out. Yeah, let's go die together.
Yep.
Gruesomely murdered by the first squad we see. Got more. Yeah, we're ready to get creamed by the first people we see.
Yep. Shit. There's another guy right here. It's a free fucking loadout.
I've never killed anyone before.
I want to kill him.
That's my... This is the most PvP I've ever done. I normally die before I get the chance to shoot back. It's one of the best random teams I've played with.
Yeah, same. We're all on a free loadout too.
Yeah, no shit. The last game was the best one. Holy shit.